Hello YouTube and YouTube subscribers, this is Natasha Gates and welcome back to my channel. And if you are new to my channel, hello, I am glad you're here. If you like my video, please subscribe or like my video so that I know that someone is liking it out there, because if you don't like it, then I'm not gonna know whether or not I should make another video about the same thing, or if you guys really hate me and you think I'm ridiculous. I don't know. So this video is about my depression, how I experienced depression, and what depression does to me as a person, and how my relationship with depression affects my life and those around me. So basically, I've been depressed since I've been born, I guess. I came from a really shitty childhood, and I was abandoned, and every relationship that I've been in has been unhealthy and terrible and nothing short of an LMN movie, right? Either someone trying to kill me or someone trying to, hurt me or, destroy me verbally, you name it. So depression for me started very young because of my parents. Not getting into great detail, I was basically neglected and abused as a child. So when we grow up to be adults, all we really are essentially are older children, right? So you think that you stop being a child at 19, right? You're no longer a child when you turn 21, or you're supposed to be doing this and this and A, B, and C by the time you're 35, etc. It doesn't work like that in my philosophy. My philosophy is that if you don't repair your inner child, right? I don't think anybody likes that word or that term, inner child. I know I don't. But if we don't repair who we are inside as a child, then how are you supposed to identify as an adult who's healthy? Think about that, right? So how am I supposed to continue on my existence as an adult, which I am 43 years old. I was born in 1979. How am I supposed to act like a quintessential 43-year-old, whatever that is, if my inner child is broken, right? So how am I supposed to overcome my depression if the reason why I'm depressed and the core issues are stemming from childhood? How can I be a whole person? How do you find that? And that's interesting to me. So I believe with all my might and knowingness and what I've learned through going to college and living life and learning through people and learning myself or about myself, is that depression just doesn't happen out of the blue. It's not like a panic attack. Depression to me is like a layer cake. It's like a big ass giant wedding cake that has the base, right? You got this base for other tiers of the cake. So my base was built on two parents that had absolutely no idea how to become parents. And one of them was worse than the other. One of them was extremely abusive, while the other one was passive. So being passive isn't necessarily great, because they end up just leaving and abandoning, and because the other parent, it's just easier to leave. And I understand that it wasn't my fault, and none of this is my fault, but it damaged me incredibly to hear, quote, "You're disgusting, nobody's ever gonna love you, you know, you're not the child that I anticipated having, you don't look anything like I wanted." The other parent would actually restrict me from flying to see them because of the way that I looked. Like, how am I supposed to show you to my colleagues if you look like that? I mean, being told that I'm chubby, being told that I'm too skinny, just being criticized all the time about everything. You know, nothing I can do as a child could satisfy my parents. There was no pleasing them, and there still isn't. I'm 43 years old, and I cannot please my parents. And they've both grown quite a lot for themselves, but as parents, it's still a complete failure. One of them got better than the other, but I mean, they have their own reasons for becoming what they are, because sometimes we can't fix ourselves. Sometimes it's just not fixable. Sometimes trauma that we've been through, you know, can't be fixed. You know, you can get all the therapy in the world, but I'm not going to condemn my parents for being bad parents, because they only learn from their parents. So repeating behavior isn't always something that should be at fault. Should they be held accountable for that? Yes, I think they should, because when you're an adult, you know better, right? Like, I would never even fathom to tell my child that she is ugly and that no one's ever gonna love her. And I would definitely never tell my own children to go kill themselves. What kind of a parent says that? Well, apparently one of mine. I ended up as an inpatient because of my attempts of, you know, trying to commit suicide at the age of 11 or 12. I was put into an institution. And all that I can think about since I was 11 years old was to just kill myself. Except I didn't know how to take the razor out of the leg shavers. And I would try to get the razor out, or I would just watch movies to see like what other ways I can kill myself. And the only way that I knew was to slit your wrists. You know, I didn't watch any movies that had any other ways of killing oneself. Except trying to drown myself, I guess. Like underneath the sink faucet. You know, I wanted to kill myself because I never had any friends that actually cared about me my whole life. I've never been in a relationship where the man actually loved and cared about me like they were supposed to. I was always abused. And right when I thought that I found the next guy that was going to be the one, they ended up abusing me. And it's almost like Why do people want to do this to me? Like, I'm already a mess. Can't you see? And then, like, you're just gonna, like, you know, make it worse by treating me like my parents treated me. And it's strange because every relationship that I've been in, it's been the same kind of guy, right? Like when you meet them, or if we're talking about a female, when you meet them, they're all nice and everything, and they love bomb you, and they take you out to eat, and they say, I love you, you know, you're so pretty, and, you know, and then you're like, oh, you know, this guy's gonna be different. Every single time, they've destroyed me. They turned into it's like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, right? So back to depression and connecting this relationship of human contact, human intimacy, human communication, human socialization. What do you think I should do? Just say, oh, well, not everyone's like that, you know, but everyone that I've met has been like that. So you're gonna tell me, oh, you know, you should just give people a chance. Well, I gave a lot of people a chance. I've been engaged like 6 to 7 times. I've been married twice. I have 5 children. I have 3 baby daddies. Yes, you can judge me for that all you want, but one of them's dead. One of them cheated on me for 12 years, and the other one I fell in love with, and at the end, you know, we had 2 children. So however way you want to look at it, you know, people are going to judge me anyways. So if you want to judge me for my kids and having kids because I love my kids so much, then that's fine. Go ahead and judge me because I love my kids. And it takes 2 to have a baby, so I obviously couldn't have any more kids with my dead, you know, ex, right? Even though I wanted to, but I couldn't because he was an addict. And because he couldn't stop drinking and doing drugs and smoking crack, and then he just dies, you know. So excuse me if I have 2 more baby daddies, you know. Go ahead, judge, right? And then also I lost everything that I owned. I had everything. I was married to a very wealthy person, very smart person, someone who I really, really loved, and he broke my heart because he couldn't stop cheating. He was a pathological liar. He had a very strange relationship with his mother where they still do. He can't go anywhere without his mother, and she actually moved in the day after I moved out of his house. Yeah. So why is it that I'm depressed? I'm depressed because this world has failed me in so many different ways that I have no reason not to be depressed. You know, it's like, you know, going through, like one of my parents saying, you know, you look really chubby, you know, you should lose weight, or you can't fit into that, or, you know, you're too skinny, you know, like after having anorexia and bulimia, that I'm too skinny. So now when I eat, after I eat, I have a panic attack. Every time I eat a meal, I have a panic attack because I associate food with being criticized and being put down. And it's very hard for me to eat. So for those of you who know, I have 5 children, and you're like, oh wow, you know, you must work out, you know, you must really take care of your body. Well, I don't work out. I mean, I'm not perfectly skinny, but I mean, here I am, you know. And I'm going to leave this as part 1, and I'll get back to you in part 2, because my phone is ready to die. I'll be back.